Godzilla vs. Black Widow. Can stealth win the battle? The video kicks off with an intense montage. Godzilla emerges from the ocean, roaring mightily, his dorsal plates glowing as he unleashes a devastating atomic breath that obliterates a cityscape. The scene transitions to Black Widow infiltrating a high-security facility, taking down guards with swift, silent moves, and showcasing her mastery of espionage. Hold on to your seats, folks. Imagine the unthinkable. The colossal king of monsters versus the world's most elite super spy. Can Black Widow's stealth, wits, and gadgets really stand up to Godzilla's raw, unstoppable force? Let's jump into this epic face-off and see if stealth can truly win the battle. Godzilla. Godzilla has been a cultural icon for over 6 decades. Debuting in 1954's Gojira, he started as a metaphor for nuclear destruction, a force of nature awakened by humanity's hubris. Since then, he's evolved into everything from a villain to an anti-hero to a full-blown protector of Earth. His abilities are nothing short of awe-inspiring. Standing anywhere from 164 feet to a staggering 400 feet tall, depending on the incarnation, he's a walking natural disaster. His atomic breath is like a laser beam of radioactive energy that can slice through pretty much anything. And let's not forget his near-impenetrable hide and regenerative healing factor. Tanks, missiles, even other giant monsters rarely stand a chance against him. He's been known to absorb nuclear energy, making him even more powerful. In some versions, he even has magnetic powers or can emit nuclear pulses. Black Widow. Then we have Natasha Romanoff, better known as Black Widow. She's a key member of the Avengers and one of SHIELD's top agents. Trained from childhood in the Red Room, a clandestine Soviet training program, she's honed her body and mind to peak human condition. Her skill set is vast. She's a master martial artist, proficient in numerous fighting styles. She's an expert marksman, acrobat, hacker, and tactician. Her gadgets are equally impressive: electroshock weapons, grappling hooks, cloaking devices, you name it. Plus, she's got a spy's knack for manipulation and deception. In the comics, she's been enhanced with a variant of the super soldier serum, increasing her strength, speed, and longevity. So while she may not have superpowers in the traditional sense, she's far from an ordinary human. Picture a sprawling metropolis like Tokyo or New York City at night. The streets are deserted, evacuated due to the impending threat of Godzilla's approach. The towering skyscrapers cast long shadows, providing plenty of hiding spots for someone like Black Widow. The cityscape is both a playground and a battlefield. Alternatively, perhaps the showdown happens on a remote, abandoned island, a testing ground for clandestine experiments gone awry. Dense jungles offer cover but also amplify the sense of isolation. The terrain is rugged, filled with natural obstacles and hidden dangers. Time of day plays a significant role too. Under the cover of darkness, Black Widow's stealth abilities are amplified. She can blend into the shadows, move unseen, and set up traps without immediate detection. Godzilla's strengths are pretty straightforward. He's a gigantic, walking force of destruction. His physical strength allows him to crush buildings, toss around other massive creatures, and create shockwaves with a stomp of his foot. His atomic breath is a devastating weapon that can incinerate targets at a distance. On top of that, he's virtually immune to most forms of conventional weaponry. His regenerative abilities mean that even if you manage to injure him, he heals rapidly. He's been known to absorb nuclear energy, making him even more powerful. In some versions, he even has magnetic powers or can emit nuclear pulses. However, Godzilla isn't unstoppable. His colossal size means he's not exactly nimble. Quick, small opponents can potentially avoid his attacks by staying out of reach or in blind spots. In past movies, we've seen him affected by certain frequencies or energies. There's also the possibility that his reliance on nuclear energy could be exploited, perhaps by overloading him or cutting off his energy sources. Black Widow is the embodiment of human potential. Her agility, reflexes, and combat skills are unmatched. She can infiltrate high-security locations, disable opponents before they're even aware of her presence, and adapt to rapidly changing situations. Her intelligence is one of her greatest assets. She's a master strategist who thinks several steps ahead. Her equipment is designed for versatility and efficiency. For example, her Widow's Bite bracelets can emit powerful electrostatic energy blasts that can incapacitate enemies or disrupt electronics. She's also skilled in psychological manipulation, able to deceive and outwit her foes. But let's be real, she's still human. She doesn't have invulnerability or superhuman strength. A single miscalculation could be fatal, especially against a foe like Godzilla. Her gadgets, while advanced, were primarily designed for human-sized adversaries. There's a limit to how effective they can be against a creature of Godzilla's magnitude. Additionally, without the element of surprise or a solid plan, she could find herself outmatched. Godzilla's approach is straightforward: overwhelm the enemy with brute force. He's relentless, often charging headfirst into battle without hesitation. His attacks are wide-ranging and indiscriminate, causing massive collateral damage. He isn't one for subtlety or finesse. However, in some iterations, he shows a level of intelligence, identifying threats and prioritizing them, using the environment to his advantage, and even exhibiting problem-solving skills in battle. Natasha relies on precision and efficiency. She strikes swiftly and decisively, aiming to incapacitate or neutralize her targets before they can react. She often uses her opponent's strengths against them, exploiting weaknesses they didn't even know they had. Her fighting style blends various martial arts, acrobatics, and tactical gadgetry. She's adept at infiltration and evasion, often completing missions without leaving a trace. Natasha might start by gathering as much information as possible. She could analyze Godzilla's behavior patterns, energy emissions, and any known weaknesses. Perhaps she discovers that certain frequencies disrupt his senses, or that luring him to a specific location could give her an advantage. She could utilize high-tech gadgets to create illusions or decoys, confusing Godzilla and leading him into traps. Deploying drones equipped with sonic emitters or EMP devices might hinder his abilities or at least distract him. Godzilla's primary advantage is that he can tank virtually anything thrown at him. Even if Natasha manages to distract or momentarily hinder him, he can recover quickly. His sheer size makes most physical attacks from Black Widow negligible. If he perceives her as a threat, he might unleash area of effect attacks, like sweeping his tail or blasting his atomic breath indiscriminately, that could eliminate hidden adversaries. Phase 1. Reconnaissance. Upon learning of Godzilla's approach, Black Widow conducts reconnaissance. Using satellites, drones, and ground-level surveillance, she gathers data on his movements, behavior, and any anomalies. She notices that Godzilla reacts strongly to certain frequencies emitted from power plants or that his movements are somewhat predictable in relation to energy sources. Phase 2. Implementation of strategy. Armed with this intel, she devises a plan. She sets up a network of sonic emitters around a specific area of the city, creating a corridor that leads Godzilla toward a trap. Perhaps this trap involves a massive EMP device intended to disrupt his energy absorption temporarily. Phase 3. Direct engagement. Despite her best efforts, Godzilla deviates from the expected path. Natasha realizes she needs to intervene directly to steer him back into the trap. Using a specialized vehicle or her grappling equipment, she gets closer than she'd like. She deploys her Widow's Bite at maximum power, targeting sensitive areas, perhaps his eyes or gills. Godzilla, feeling the sting, becomes agitated and targets her location. She uses her agility to evade his attacks, leading him on a chase that brings him back into the trap's vicinity. Outcome 1. Godzilla triumphs. Even with meticulous planning, Godzilla proves too formidable. He withstands the EMP blast, his regeneration counteracting any damage inflicted. Natasha, despite her skills, is ultimately outmatched by a creature of his magnitude. Outcome 2. Black Widow prevails. The trap is successful. The EMP disrupts Godzilla's energy absorption, weakening him temporarily. Disoriented and weakened, Godzilla retreats back to the sea. Natasha's combination of strategy, technology, and bravery leads to a hard-earned victory. Outcome 3. Stalemate or team up. A new threat emerges. Recognizing the bigger picture, Natasha shifts her focus and somehow communicates or signals to Godzilla the presence of this new foe. They inadvertently coordinate to neutralize the common threat, leading to an uneasy stalemate. Stories abound where underdogs triumph over overwhelming odds. In the Marvel Universe, we've seen characters like Ant-Man affect the outcome of massive battles through ingenuity. Similarly, in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, human characters play pivotal roles in influencing the Titan's actions. Applying real-world physics, The idea of a human affecting a creature the size of Godzilla is pretty far-fetched. However, in the realms of sci-fi and fantasy, we've accepted shrinking men, flying demigods, and time travel. Fans have speculated endlessly about such cross-universe battles. Some posit that Black Widow could use technology from other Marvel heroes. Others believe Godzilla's raw power is unbeatable, and any attempt by Natasha would be futile. While creators haven't directly addressed this matchup, they've often highlighted that Black Widow's greatest strength is her humanity. Her ability to persevere, make tough decisions, and adapt. A community poll found 70% believe Godzilla would inevitably win due to his immense power. So, can stealth and strategy overcome brute force of this magnitude? It's a complex question without a definitive answer. Godzilla represents an unstoppable natural force. Black Widow embodies the pinnacle of human skill and determination. This hypothetical battle isn't just about who would win, but about the interplay between nature's raw power and human ingenuity. In the end, this matchup invites us to think creatively and consider possibilities beyond the obvious. Whether you're Team Godzilla or Team Black Widow, the real winner here is the endless conversation and the enjoyment we get from exploring these scenarios. Now it's your turn. Who do you think would win in this epic face-off? Do you have a different strategy for Black Widow, or do you think Godzilla's power is just too great? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get the debate going. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow fans. Exciting things are coming up. In our next video, we'll explore what happens when two masters of magic from different universes collide. Here's a hint. Capes will be involved. Thank you so much for watching and spending your time with me today. Your support means the world. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook for behind-the-scenes content, sneak peeks, and more. Special shout-out to all our new subscribers and everyone who participated in our polls. Until next time, keep imagining, keep debating, and stay awesome.